What is good, everybody? I'm glad you guys are tuning in to another episode of Don't Just Get Up, Wake Up with your boy Zo Dog. I've been missing you guys. It's been a few days since I've been on Instagram, or Facebook for that matter, because Instagram put me on a probational period until August 1st because I put up a video a few weeks ago making a joke reference like I'm going to appear at certain people's doors like Jay and Silent Bob and backslap the shit out of them for not sharing my videos that I believe are important and everybody should be hip to and wake up, unplug type of knowledge that I always love to circulate because it's my job to bring you to the waters. It's only up to you to drink it, so I'm not going to force you. But this episode right here, if you guys have not been keeping updated with what's going on recently, up to date, let me just say it like that, with what's going on with the NFAC, the Not Fucking Around Coalition, and Grandmaster Jay addressing everybody on the matter of what he's doing for the black people. In my opinion, I've been hearing some things about he could possibly be an agent and a lot of other negative baggage with that. And for me being hip and knowing how the past goes, you know what I'm saying, the history of us as a black nation, and every time we try to unite and evolve, the FBI wants to label us as terrorists and savages, killers, you know what I mean, just a mess in the streets, just total chaos. And that's what they're doing to this black man, is what I believe. He's doing something great for the black people that hasn't been done in years since the Black Panther Party, and he's demanding reparations, he's demanding justice for the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. There's a lot of things going on that he's doing that a lot of people are just talking about but haven't done shit. Bottom line, we're doing a lot of protesting, and that's good, but we've been doing that for years and nothing really happens. We just sit back and wait for the racist system that's keeping us oppressed to give us an answer of what they're going to do. We're no longer sitting back and waiting for that bullshit, okay? We've been tired, okay? I'm tired of sitting down talking to you guys about the same shit that is basically obvious. A lot of people, I'm finding out recently, I'm not even going to be fucking with no more. You know what I'm saying? Because this shouldn't be a debate. I shouldn't be arguing and trying to convince you that the black people is oppressed. Still, modern day slavery. I should not be convincing you of the fact that we are not on the same level playing ground as white people. Why the hell do I have to keep on watching documentary after documentary from the 1960s to currently of the same injustices, the same police brutality, the same jailing of young black males in jail, the same politics saying the same shit on the podium, never addressing the black agenda. They don't give a shit about us. That's bottom line. We blatantly see that. Grandmaster Jay is addressing all this shit head on in the streets. Second Amendment, right to bear arms. He's showing y'all he ain't fucking around, and he's the voice of the black folks, the black people demanding reparations. Like I said before, we're political prisoners held hostage within a nation. We need to go to the UN and demand justice. You know what I'm saying? Cut out a piece of land for us. We should be getting paid for all the slave trade companies that benefited off our slavery. The stupid gap of wealth between the whites and the blacks. This is bullshit. I should not have to be convincing you guys about the obvious facts daily of what's going on to us black folks, minorities. I know women facing a lot of injustices too, a lot of minorities, Spanish folks. I know that, okay? So I'm not saying it's just the blacks, but right now we need to address what the fuck's going on, and Grandmaster Jay is doing that, and he's bullyfooting, he's expediting results. So if you guys believe he's an agent, continue doing your research, but my secretary's been providing me with no type of documentation, providing evidence that he is an agent. Some people bring up to me, oh, well, he said 5 years ago that all lives matter. Okay, he did say that. Look up the video and he'll explain why he said that. Okay, if that's the only evidence and receipt that you have that he's an agent, I'm sorry for you, that's not valid on this show and not this platform. Okay, you guys need to start using your gut to analyze everything that's happening. If it feels fake, it is fake. If not, it's not. It's just plain and simple. But you guys need to wake the fuck up. I don't like ever telling people what they need to do, but we're living in a nation of racism daily, okay? So let's just stop on that note. I have an audio clip of Grandmaster Jay having a talk with Michi X, if you don't know who that is. She's a young woman, black woman on the internet doing her damn thing, spreading a lot of truth, just like Grandmaster Jay, wakening up people daily. Okay, subscribe to her channel. But besides that, let's get it cracking. Here's an audio clip, and I may have a video to follow up with that. But I love you guys. Hopefully this video will start digging more deeper in your brain and opening up your eyes. I told you guys to peep out on Netflix 13th. You can go to Amazon Prime, look up the Black Panther Party documentary. There's a video or documentary me and my boy last night watched Imani. I think it was called The Long Shadow. There's so many documentaries out there that will hopefully show you guys what the hell is going on then and continuously happening now, but they just renamed things as modern day slavery. That's it. So there's another picture my boy told me about. We were watching a documentary last night and it was a slave, classic picture with the slave with his back all whipped up like that, just torn up, like you can literally see through his vertebrae and shit. I think he brought it up. He was like, we need to have that picture and ask the white community, show us a white man's back that ever been whipped like that. Just show us a white person back that's been tortured and just whipped up and just disrespected. And then next we want to ask who's the black man that did that to him. And bottom line, you ain't going to have that answer. You're not going to have that evidence because it hasn't happened. Okay, so don't be telling me that whites are just as oppressed as blacks. No, sir. Over 250 years of slavery, and it continuously happening now. And you guys have white privilege because white privilege is because America was built for you guys, the white man, just point blank. So if you guys are offended by that, I'm sorry for you, but it's evident. Look out the window. Look around you, look where you at, look at your job, look at your house, look at your communities, and then look at the black communities, all right? Look at the jail population. You don't see white folks in that bitch. We're like 12% of the population, and how come 55% of the population is in jail? Black males, get the fuck out of here. Y'all can all suck a dick, as a matter of fact. I don't give a shit. We're gonna talk to you in this channel and all other platforms as like-minded individuals too, okay? So it is what it is. I'm gonna fall back right now, let Grandmaster Jay talk. It's an audio clip, and I may follow that with a video, or I may do another part 2, just showing you a video of him talking, addressing what he wants to do for the black people and the black nation, all right? But we're gonna get ours. We're not gonna sit back and wait for no racist system to give us answers and give us no more direction. So fuck all that noise, we're tired of it. It's time to get action. I love you. If you're just tuning in, this is Don't Just Get Up, Wake Up with your boy Zodog. And I always keep it real, official, and transparent here. There's no governor's pen. I don't bite my tongue. I'm just gonna tell you how it is and how I feel. And with that being said, let's get it cracking. I love you guys. Enjoy your week. I know it's hot as hell out there. Stay hydrated. Stay loving. This is not a divide and conquer video. This is just an evident video that I want to show you guys what we're doing finally as a black nation to get our results, reparations, and everything, okay? We getting our money from them slave trade companies. We definitely doing that. Plus some, and land, all that. But either way, I ain't gonna talk your heads off anymore. Here's Grandmaster Jay. Peace. Love ya.
Even against the policies that are for us, condition with this blue. You know?
Let me share this with you. This is what I found out when I ran for the presidency. Most people don't know this, but everyone who runs for the presidency is given 2 mandates. You have a domestic mandate and you have an international mandate. And if you don't understand anything about the international political scene, you're going to be a complete idiot, like the person we got right now. Pissed everybody off, stepped on all the toes, didn't know nothing, just completely an idiot at the game. But the domestic mandate is what you do for the people. Now, I'm going to use Barack Obama as an example. Barack Obama's domestic mandate was to mesmerize the black people to the point where they thought that they had arrived and that they were going to get everything that was coming to them because a black man was sitting in the White House. We didn't ask him for a thing. We were just happy that he was in the White House. But however, He had an international mandate, which was to go to Africa and repair all the relationships that Bush destroyed so that America could get back into Africa and get back to raping them for their resources. That was his international mandate. Now, don't everybody get upset and start talking about, well, no, I love Obama. That's the mental brainwash. That's what they did to you. You didn't ask him for anything, so he didn't give you specifically anything for Black folks. He did stuff for a lot of other people, and some of y'all fell into that category, but he did nothing specific for Black folks. I'll give you an example. Establishing a federal division that would address Black on Black crime that's based on poverty and addressing police-involved shootings of Black folks at that level. That could have been an executive order. The thing could have been created the same way they created the TSA with an executive order overnight. Then on top of that, you have to realize that because we didn't ask him for anything, because of our mental conditioning, now we got this idiot in the White House and we can't ask him for nothing because the first thing he gonna say is, well, y'all didn't ask the Black president for that, so why are you asking me? I'm gonna clown out. Y'all had 8 years to get what you wanted and you did absolutely nothing. Why? Because this brainwash was so smooth. You was conditioned and you was all caught up in your emotions, but you didn't do anything logically that benefited you in the areas of finance or politics or land acquisition or police reform. You did nothing. So what did we get? A bunch of talk. Same thing right now with reparations. They just want to give you a bunch of talk. That's because they know that you're still under the spell. Now we're starting to wake up and they know that. So now they're trying to give us everything. And they're like, we'll take the statues down and we'll get rid of the flag and we want to get along. No, 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 no. Too little, too late. That's not what we want. Right. We want real change. And if you're not going to change some laws, if you're not going to redistribute the wealth, if you're not going to redistribute the land, if you're not going to come out, and I'm going to say this and give a national public apology backed up by reparations for what you did to us, don't talk to us about change. Painting a name on the street is not change. Sitting around holding hands with our oppressors, acting like it's just a few bad apples, just like Muhammad Ali says, if 7,000 snakes coming down the hill to kill me, and you telling me there's some good ones in there, I'm not going to sit there and sort them out. I'm going to kill every last one of them before they get there. And they're pushing us to that position because we're getting to the point where we realize that without us, the whole house of cards collapses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think our people understand that enough, how much we hold the foundation. This whole government is based on being held up on our backs, whether it's whether we're used as commodity or disposal. And I've explained that so many times. People say, well, how are we commodity? Well, easy. You the sickest group. The pharmaceutical company makes billions off your sickness they give you. You keep the prisons full. You keep the hospitals full. Of course, they're constantly raising you to just be a different type of a slave. And you're right. They give us everything that's like a Band-Aid. We don't give a damn about that sign in the street, you know? So I want to ask you too about that sign in the street because it didn't free nobody, which will bring me to another one of my questions. I was going to ask you, you know, how you feel about reparations. So and what you said, I know you believe we should get it. So one, I want to ask you, when we talk about reparations, what do you see reparations as? Because when a lot of people say they like cut the check, but the conditions we're in, I think reparations is way more than a check. So I want your perspective on that. And then I would like you to talk to me about how you feel about Black Lives Matter.
So I'm going to start with reparations first, because a lot of folks think that reparations is just money. It is not. First of all, reparations are paid to a country where damages have been done, and we need to restore those. Our first problem is we keep talking about we want reparations, but what we fail to realize is reparations to who? The United States pays reparations to other countries. It pays reparations to the people in Germany. It pays reparations to the people in Japan. It pays reparations. As a matter of fact, they paid reparations to the Native Americans, but they cannot pay the descendants of slavery anything because they still have you classified as a color. So there's nobody to pay reparations to. That's the brick wall that Johnny Cochran ran into. Additionally, then there's restitution. Restitution is the damages that were done, not the damages that are owed for what you've actually done. Then there's repatriation of sending us back to where we came from. Now, here comes the problem. The problem is there were two steps to our freedom and we only took one. The first step to our freedom was the right to be treated as an equal human being, which is what the Civil Rights Act was supposed to do. But what it didn't do, we didn't get the other part of our freedom. And just what you said, that means the land, that means the money, that means the political power, that means the restructuring of the laws. Those things they kept completely out of the way. They gave you freedom to express yourself, freedom to sit next to somebody, freedom from this, but they didn't give you financial freedom. freedom. They did not empower you they tell you to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps when all you got is some flip-flops. So they didn't change anything. You're functioning inside of this bubble where you want something, but you haven't declared who you are yet. There are a group of us right now who are working on paperwork to file for the liberation of the United Black Nation with the World Court that would then declare every last one of us political prisoners and inhabitants of a nation within the nation. Once we declare that, now we're in a position to demand reparations for slavery. Now, there should be, watch this, let me break this down. When they freed us as slaves, we were worth $3.6 billion with a B. We were worth more than every other thing in the United States. We were worth more than all their manufacturing combined. And they lost all that money because we walked away and became people, or so we thought. There were only 4 million of us then. Now today, there are 45 to 50 million of us with a combined worth of $437 billion that they see just walking around. Would they love to have it back? Of course they would, but they can't just out and out do that because then it would contradict what this country's supposed to stand for. So reparations, first off, just like they've done everybody else, y'all didn't have no problem putting a dollar bill on how much money that was owed to the French government by the Haitians when they ran y'all ass out of Haiti. And y'all say y'all got to pay the plantation owners for the loss of the property, which was the people. Okay, then all of the people who was enslaved here in the United States at that time, multiply time the number of us that have evolved since then, do the math and pay us what you owe us. That's the lump sum piece. That's the money. That gives us our financial fluidity to do what we need to do. But on top of that, there needs to be a redistribution of the land. You ain't got to make up nothing. Go look at some of the treaties that were signed right after the Civil War that haven't been honored. You can start with that. Let's go back and make sure that we redistribute the wealth. You got, listen, the average Black family right now is in worse shape financially than they was in the 60s. So we didn't go up, we went down. Whereas white families, their wealth has increased. Why? Because you all keep giving them your money. What they did was turn you from a group of producers and workers that they used to have to pay. That's why we had a Black Wall Street. That's why we had a Rosewood. They destroyed that. They turned you into consumers. That would have to be reversed. But at the end of all of this, reparations is not just the lump sum payment for the damages. It's also ongoing maintenance. Everybody else gets that, but it goes to a country. So reparations is two things. Either A, you pay us what you owe us for all the free labor that we gave you, per the descendants of the families that we can verify. And on top of that, you carve us out some land that is ours, that's owed to us, so we can determine our own destiny. And you give us the ability to have a sovereign government where we make our own laws. And you give us maintenance payments at such a time until we too are stable enough on our feet. And you restructure the laws and you undo some of the injustices. We're only 12% of the population, yet we're over 40 to 55% of the prison population, which shows that we are victims of an unfair judicial system. Fix that and then scrub the books of the laws. All of that would have to happen. I can tell you right now, the United States would never do that, which leaves us in this position. We have one of two choices. Either you declare us political prisoners and you let us leave on an exodus and don't stop us, which we know they wouldn't, or we have to enter into some type of a conflict and fight for what we want. Reparations is more than just money. Reparations is a restructuring of the actual society structure of the United States.